Hey everybody, I am Not a Fox, and today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorite Zelda Dungeon themes. Dungeons and music, two of the best things about any given Zelda title, and one of my favorite things to do after playing a Zelda game is to go back and listen to the dungeon themes. This was a really tough list to make, as there aren't really any bad dungeon themes. I love almost all of them. To make things fair, I limited each game to only being allowed to have 2 themes on the list. Also, since it's hard to describe what makes music enjoyable for me to someone else with completely different tastes, I'm going to give you just a short little spiel about why I like it, and I'll give you guys a chance to listen to the theme. So, let's do this.
Number 10.
To start off this list, we have the Eastern Palace theme from A Link Between Worlds. I love the Hyrule Dungeon theme from A Link to the Past, and the Eastern Palace theme is essentially an orchestrated version of that same tune. This theme plays for the first 3 dungeons in the game, the Eastern Palace, the Tower of Hera, and the House of Gales. I love how sinister sounding this theme starts off. It promotes a sense of foreboding and curiosity. As you begin to explore the dungeons, the song starts to change, slowly becoming less sinister and more uplifting, as a trumpet begins to play a beautiful melody. The song grows louder and louder, and it becomes more inviting and has a much warmer tone until it peaks out and goes back to a more reserved theme.
Number 9.
Coming in at 9th is the Great Palace theme from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I really struggled to choose between the dungeon themes from Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and the Great Palace theme for this list, mostly because they're all really catchy. I only chose one of them, however, because there just isn't a ton to any of them, and this one just happens to be my favorite of the 3. Like I said, this dungeon theme is really catchy, and something about it feels nice for being different. The Great Palace is the final dungeon in the game, and I really like how it has its own theme. Plus, it's a good thing that the dungeon theme is so good, considering how much time it will take the average player to beat it.
Number 8.
Next up is the Thieves' Hideout from A Link Between Worlds. I love the sense of urgency that the player gets immediately after walking inside the dungeon. This fits really well considering you're exploring a dungeon owned by dangerous thieves, and it instills a really strong get in, get out mindset. I love how strong the orchestration is. It's almost overpowering at points. I also love how if you listen close enough, like a few other dungeon themes throughout the game, you can hear traces of the dungeon theme from the original Legend of Zelda.
Number 7.
At number 7 is the Earth Temple from the Wind Waker. The Earth Temple is actually my favorite dungeon from the game, and this theme certainly helps. I love the didgeridoo that plays throughout the entire theme, and I really like the different percussion and ambient noises that are scattered throughout the background of this theme. The various screeches really help add to the unsettling tone of this dungeon, and the steady drum beat throughout allows all of these different elements to really come together as a whole.
Number 6.
The Spirit Temple from Ocarina of Time is number 6. Much like the Thieves' Hideout, as soon as you walk into this dungeon, the tone is set by the dungeon theme. I really like how in-your-face the theme is to begin with, as it slowly backs off and becomes more ambient. The whole theme screams ancient desert civilization, which is absolutely perfect for the dungeon itself, and it really elevates the dungeon as a whole by making it a much more immersive experience.
Number 5.
The Temple of Time from Twilight Princess. While most of the dungeon themes from Twilight Princess are pretty ambient, I really enjoyed the Temple of Time theme. It reminds me a lot of elevator music, which sounds terrible on paper, but considering the whole point of the dungeon is to reach the top and then make your way back down, it fits very well. It also matches the really pristine setting of the dungeon. Whereas most Zelda dungeons are found in caves or abandoned forts, this one is set in a bright, formal temple, and the bright dungeon theme really amplifies this.
Number 4.
The Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time. When I first played through this dungeon, I didn't really notice the dungeon theme that much. It sounded very strange to me, and it didn't really stick with me. And when my cousin told me it was often regarded as the best dungeon theme, I was baffled as to why. As time has gone on, however, I've grown to appreciate it much more. The theme is truly chilling. It gives off one of the most bizarre feelings I've ever heard. While I'm not a huge fan of the dungeon myself, I can certainly see why a lot of people are, and I think this theme is one of the greatest reasons why. As soon as it starts, the innocence of the Child Link dungeons is gone for good, and now you know it's serious. Everything is more complex, both the inner workings of the dungeon, but also the tone of things. This is a very sinister theme that begs the question, what exactly happened here?
Number 3.
is the Skyview Temple theme from Skyward Sword. Once again, I wasn't a huge fan of the actual Skyview dungeon, but I loved the dungeon theme. Like the Thieves' Hideout in Spirit Temple, the dungeon theme hits you in the face as soon as you enter. This is perhaps the most epic dungeon theme of them all, as it creates a very mystifying atmosphere that has the player asking themselves, what's going to be behind that door? What's hiding behind that locked door? What sinister creature is waiting for me in the boss room?
Number 2.
The Wind Temple from the Wind Waker. Rewind to January of 2015, the first time I ever played Wind Waker. I stumbled into the Wind Temple, and I can honestly say that I really did not enjoy it that much. Something about it has changed though, as I've grown more and more fond of it, and the dungeon theme is one of my absolute favorites. I love so many things about it. I love how fluid the dungeon theme is, as it doesn't follow a super strict time signature, and different instruments are popping in all the time. I love how many different instrument themes there are throughout it. I love the stringed instrument parts most of all. I love the warm and inviting aura that the theme gives off, and the slightly sinister vibe that intrudes later on in the theme. Gosh, I just love it all. So what could top it?
Number 1.
Try not to be too surprised with this one. It actually was a difficult decision, and it even surprised me a little bit. But number 1 is the Stone Tower Temple theme from Majora's Mask. So much has been said about this dungeon and its theme, so I won't regurgitate everything that you've already heard, but it's a special theme. The ancient-sounding chanting in the background, the theme of the flute that comes in, and the stringed instrument that begins to duet with the flute. The whole dungeon is really awe-inspiring with its atmosphere, and the dungeon theme really amplifies that feeling. I also love how the theme changes ever so slightly once you flip the temple on its head, and everything changes. This is my favorite Zelda dungeon theme. Hey everybody! Let me know what you thought by leaving a comment below. If you liked the video, and want to see more videos about video games, top 10s, and all that fun stuff, why not subscribe? For random updates from me, why not follow me on Twitter? Also, if you're curious about my favorite Zelda dungeons, why not hit the link in the description to a video where my cousin, Ninson Gaming, and I worked together to rank all 35 3D Zelda dungeons. And as always, thank you so much for watching.